go. All right, you are tuned into the Katie Talk 101 show. Make sure when you come in the building, make sure you share this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you have not yet, please sub to the channel, okay? All right, so today we are talking about this very touchy subject, speaking about the infamous N-word and all of the trouble that Joe Rogan got into for saying it. Okay, so we actually have today here, my co-host is Miss Kenya, the comedian. She will be talking to us about some of the things that she experienced in the comedy industry and especially dealing with the N-word and stuff like that. All right, so can you introduce yourself? Tell them where they can find you and everything as far as your social media goes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you good.
Okay, my name is Kenya. Well, let me go back. I have a running joke about my last name. Right now, yes, my name is Kenya, comedian Kenya Thompson. That's the name I'm going by right now. That's the name I've been going by since I got started. I got started, about almost 3 years ago, about 2 years and 8 months ago. And what did you want? You just wanted me to give you a quick rundown. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I am a newer comic that came into comedy in May. The end of May of 2019 was actually my start date. Oh, wow. And from the beginning of starting comedy, I got started at a local white comedy club here. I don't know how far you want me to go into everything before you jump in with the first question. So just let me know when you want to jump in with the first question.
Your main source of social media is
yes, on Instagram. My name is @KenyaFaith. That's my name on Instagram, and Kenya Thompson is my name on Facebook. Those are only two I remember. So go ahead. That was my two.
Perfect. Okay, so getting off into the infamous N-word, what got Joe Rogan into a lot of hot water and have people out here, especially I believe the entertainer NDRE was thinking about jumping out of Spotify because of this. What are your experiences, especially dealing with the N-word in the comedy industry, especially with you being a Black woman and, we use that word. So what do you think about the use of it and dealing with it in comedy and people intertwining that word in their comedy routines?
Well, first of all, as a comic, and Joe Rogan is a stand-up comic, I do feel like that comics, we can say stuff that may be off limits to other people in other walks of life, or even as far as white people in other genres of entertainment. That's a word that Black people can use that you cannot use in entertainment, whether you're doing music or whether you're a comic. That's a word that we have the pleasure of. I'm not going to necessarily, I don't know if pleasure is the right word to say.
Pleasure.
Right, but that is a word that we can use that is off limits to white people in public on a entertainment platform. But clearly, I don't know if we're jumping the gun. But clearly, Joe Rogan uses the word, the N-word, the taboo N-word.
Hey.
He has used it.
Yes, welcome to the chat, Keita B. We got some people in the chat. You guys make sure you hit that thumbs up. All right, so I got my co-host, Kenya Thompson, here. So yeah, she was just speaking about the N-word and intertwining it in the comedy skits and things like that. Now, what do you think the issues are as far as throwing this N-word out, especially dealing with people of other races saying that?
First of all, in my opinion, and this has been an issue that has this issue has come up before through the history of Black people in this country. But this is my thing with the N-word. And like, even on my Facebook, today I made a post saying, the reason why I'm choosing to, bring it down with the use of the N-word as a comic It has nothing to do with the white man asking me to when I initially started comedy. And the reason why I said that is this. The only reason why the white man or the issue ever comes up is if the white man get caught using the word. Can we say that word, since that is a word topic? Because the N word is just sounds so. The white man would like to use the word nigga. Ninja. He the N word. He would love to use that word. He can't use that word. For hundreds and hundreds of years in this country, he was able to use that word without getting in any kind of trouble. I'm talking about if you go back and read or do research, I mean, you know, on when they was lynching and stuff like that, they use that word freely. But as society changed, it became less cool for white people to show out loud that they're racist. So that's when it became a taboo thing for white people to say the N word in public. So since they can't say it, they feel like that word should be a taboo word, period, that no one should be able to say it. But of course, Black people, we say it. We say it in music, in rap music. We say it in movies. We say it in culture. We use the word.
We use it. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I actually remember this, what you saying that, as far as them not being able to use it. But I don't know if you remember, it's a comedian. He goes by the name of Gary Owens. You know, he was married to an African-American woman. And there was some things that was said to him by some Black people. And instead of him using the word, he called his wife in the room. And every time he wanted to say the N word, he pointed to her and she said it. So a lot of people had issues with her with saying that. So it has always been a taboo word, but obviously, you know, a lot of people use it in their own homes as far as in their own privacy. So as far as the thing that really got him into hot water, besides that skit, and then I'm gonna say this. When it comes to the internet and how people can Photoshop and edit things together, it can make things sound really like 10 times worse. Like they intertwine maybe 30 to maybe 40 some shows where he was just saying ninja. It was just ninja all over the place. And they put it all together in one video. So yeah, it sounded very horrible. So, you know, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to let you guys listen to this. I don't know if you heard it, but he did actually come and apologize for that. So I'm going to play this. So you guys take a listen to this if you haven't heard it yet.
Hello, friends. I'm making this video to talk about the most regretful and shameful thing that I've ever had to talk about publicly. There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks fucking horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, never mind publicly on a podcast. And I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years, but for a long time, when I would bring that word up, like if it would come up in conversation, instead of saying the N word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand what I was doing. Like that context was part of the clip we were talking about Red Fox, how Red Fox said that word on television in the 1970s and how times have changed so much since then. Or about how Richard Pryor used it as one of the titles of one of his albums. Or I was quoting a Lenny Bruce bit, or I was quoting a Paul Mooney bit, or I was talking about how Quentin Tarantino used it repeatedly in Pulp Fiction, or I was talking about how a Netflix executive, ironically, used it because he was trying to compare it to another offensive word, and he said it out loud, and they fired him. Oh, wow. Not calling anybody or just saying the word out loud. I was also talking about how there's not another word like it in the entire English language, because it's a word where only one group of people is allowed to use it, and they can use it in so many different ways. Like if a white person says that word, it's racist and toxic. But a black person can use it, and it could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now, but for years I used it in that manner. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist, but whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you fucked up. And I clearly have fucked up. And that's my intention to express myself in this video, to say, there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment. Because I never thought it would ever be taken out of context and put in a video like that. And now that it is, holy shit, it looks bad. And it's part of also me doing this podcast for thousands of hours, thousands of episodes, over 12 years. I said a lot of fucking stupid shit, which is fine when you're talking about most things, but not when you're talking about race. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago. I was telling a story on the podcast about how me and my friend Tommy and his girlfriend, we got really high. We were in Philadelphia, and we went to go see Planet of the Apes. And we didn't know where we were going. We just got dropped off by a cab, and we got dropped off in this all-black neighborhood. And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said, we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that. And I immediately afterwards said, that's a racist thing to say. Planet of the Apes wasn't even in Africa. I was just saying there's a lot of black people there. But then I went on to talk about what a positive experience it was and how much fun it was to go to see this movie in a black neighborhood. It wasn't a racist story, but it sounded terrible. And like I said, you can have clunky stories about anything, but not about race. And so I deleted that whole podcast, but obviously somebody made a clip out of it and taken out of context. It looks terrible, but it looks terrible even in context. It's a fucking idiotic thing to say. And I was just trying to be entertaining. I certainly wasn't trying to be racist. And I certainly would never want to offend someone for entertainment with something as stupid as racism. My hope is that, look, I can't go back in time and change what I've said. I wish I could. Obviously, that's not possible. But I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth, in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies. I wish there was more that I could say, but all of this is just me talking from the bottom of my heart. It makes me sick watching that video, but hopefully at least some of you will accept this and understand where I'm coming from. My apologies and much love. My sincere, deepest apologies.
Big shout out to the chat room. What's up with your King Low? MONEYBOY Trey coming through the building. Stay gang. What's up, Keita B? All right, so he basically reiterated basically what we said about this only being offensive. It's only being offensive because a person of no color said the word. So yeah, even without listening to that, he's looking at it from our standpoint. And then the situation, this is a very, very short clip I wanted to play real quick, kind of speaking about what he was talking about with the Planet of the Apes thing.
I go to one where there's
take
to a movie in a black neighborhood. To a movie in a black neighborhood. And this is what he said. So I go, we got to go to one where there's Planet of the Apes, man. We're going to go see Planet of the Apes. So I look on the iPhone app, and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I go, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people. There was no white people.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So that is basically what he said. He was just really making a light joke about it. And
but that was a racist statement.
Yeah.
I mean because first of all, comedy is subjective anyway. Like one person may find funny, another person may not find humor in that. But in saying that, our community cannot be that naive into thinking that white people don't say the N-word. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on.
Oh,
I mean,
most definitely.
And that's really part of the reason why I even made the comment I made. There's no way that, a white person can't ask me in no shape, form, or fashion not to use the N-word, because that ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? That's just all how I look at it. That is not your business. And if that's ever anything that's standing in between me and any form of success, is only because I won't stop using the N-word, you can't make me believe it, because you use it.
Yeah.
Clearly, Joe Rogan and his friends who are friendly enough to go to a movie together. So think about it. In itself, I can't tell you that I have been to the movie with any and everybody. If I go sit in a dark place for at least an hour or so, or two to 2.5 hours, if you count in the previews and stuff like that. So for you to go to the movies with somebody, a group of white people, and for you to make that statement to them, you are racist and that stuff. I'm not saying you're racist. Let me take it back. Because to me, I try not to call anybody a racist, because I just can't say that. But that was a racist statement. And the people that was around you when you said it 11 years ago, who allowed that, yeah, that's right. For you to say, why is Planet of the Apes, why is that Africa? First of all, the whole thing, the whole movie concept of the Planet of the Apes didn't take place in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
No, it didn't.
So yeah, that's right. But if you're crazy, black people, we're crazy if we think white people don't say the N-word.
Right. Exactly. They say it. They say it amongst each other, and they laugh about it. When he was telling the story, they laughed about that. They say it amongst each other, and it's a very casual thing, that they say.
And the biggest thing that makes them mad is that they can't say it. We say it. We say my ninja. I know you told me not to actually use the N-word. And that's another thing, which I know this platform, you got to follow their rules.
Yeah, that's why I don't be on here that much.
Right. But that's the thing.
Shout out to YouTube. But yeah.
Yes. But that's the thing. That's the thing that irks them, y'all, is that we can freely throw this word around in rap music. I mean, it's certain rap music that's you hear the N-word more than Scarface said the F word. You know what I'm saying?
I promise.
Right, you know what I'm saying? The N-word. But y'all, until we start treating each other better and then get together and demand for them to stop. I don't care whether you say it behind closed doors. I want you to stop treating us like the N-word systematically.
Thank you. And
you know what I'm saying?
That gets me to the next thing that I wanted you to really speak on. I know a lot of time people say there's no help for our community, but what are some things that you feel like we need to fix first in our community first before dealing with this N-word thing? Because come on, like, this is a situation that came up, but it's going to be another situation that come up where somebody else is going to use it again. But what do you think we can fix amongst each other around our community before we can tackle don't use that word?
I think what we need to do as a community, okay, first of all, if you look at Joe Rogan, this is the person that we're speaking of, he actually do have a gang of black friends, even though he did not mention it.
Yeah.
And I actually commend him because that irks me when I hear white people.
More racist. I mean,
right. I hate when I hear white people say I'm not a racist because I got black friends. He did not mention the fact that he has or that he hangs around a lot of black people, in which he does. But in saying that, us as a people, if we're going to be offended by the N-word, it's a lot of other stuff systematically that we need to be offended by. We need to be offended by the level of hate that we show each other. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to the earliest time movies that they start making concerning black people in the United States, we hate each other. If we could ever band together and agree on anything or band together from the beginning, we wouldn't be in the shape that we in this country. The N-word, which is just a whole lot of things in itself historically in this country. But the thing about it is, y'all, we got to stop disrespecting each other before we can expect for the white man or the system to stop disrespecting us. You know what I'm saying? We have to just all the way around. You know what I'm saying? In which don't, and we've talked about this before, me and you, about where we're at in society, and I don't want to get too far into that. We can save that for another show. But it's a lot as a community that we need to get together before we can demand that people take this word off the table and bury it, or the word will never be buried. You got to think the N-word has been used in this country for over 400 years. Yeah. If you think that they finna stop using the N-word, you are sadly mistaken. Right. But what we can do together is, since we know that this word they're not supposed to be using, only we can use it. So if there's gonna really be a cold word on what we're gonna do with each other, for each other, to support each other, since we're the only ones that can use this cold word, I feel like, yeah, we're gonna have to start doing better with each other.
We got to show respect with each other. And like you said, I'm not trying to get off into too many other topics, but just in the past 2-3 weeks alone, there's been a number of women of color took away from earth by their significant others of color. I mean, women that have babies by some men, and they had their life took by their men. So it's a lot of issues that we have to tackle before we just tackle the N-word, because it's bigger fish to fry. But most definitely it is with the wrong person using it, it's very problematic. So I can't downplay it at all. And it kind of brought me, not trying to wing too much off of this topic, but it kind of put me in the mind of the things that happened to our beautiful sister Whoopi Goldberg just here recently. They accused her of saying some, it's a word they use for it, I can't think of it right now. I think it's
anti-Semitic.
Yeah, anti-Semitic comments. They accused her of doing it. And also Nick Cannon, they accused him of the anti-Semitic stuff. So I think it's really like choosing the avenue of where you're going, because I guess with Spotify, they have more freedom of speech. So I think that's why more people are trying to switch to things like Spotify, because you can really garner your own following. And when you're with these certain companies, it's just a lot of things that won't fly. But especially comparing that to Whoopi and Nick Cannon, it's something that came up in the subject.
But Spotify, but as a company is concerned, as Spotify is concerned, I actually don't blame them for not canceling him. I really do, because this is the thing about this cancel culture that we live in. Yeah. If we just continue to cancel someone for saying something, but we're not fixing the overall issue. Let me give you an example of what I'm trying to say, or let me give you an analogy. Mm-hmm. let's say you got some funky garbage in your house, but instead of taking the garbage out, you just continue to do plug-ins and potpourri sprays and all that, but you never take the garbage out. You leave the garbage that's in there, but you continue to put up all this stuff to make it smell good. Y'all, in the background, that funk gonna still be there.
Still gonna be there.
This is what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. Just like I said, even when we had the conversation about Dave Chappelle and the Netflix thing and the LGBTQRS TV, and I hate to put it like that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was the joke Dave Chappelle made. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, even with our community, the history with what we've been called in this country. We went from being called the N-word to being called Negro to being called Afro-American they have throughout the history of this country and called us so many, but one thing they have always called us behind our back was the N-word. And that's one thing they're going to always call us behind our back is the N-word. But like I was saying, I don't think that's the answer for platforms, or I don't think that's the answer to counseling. I agree. I actually agree with Spotify on that.
Oh, yes. I'm going to have to clip that out. That was the 25 to 26.7 minute mark. I'm most definitely going to clip that out, and I'm going to send that to you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I agree. I mean, I thank you. Because like I said, I just feel like that's the right thing to do, that because you cannot continue to cancel people for saying certain things without dealing with the overall issue. And y'all, until we fix this issue, I don't know if it can be fixed, because you got to think racism in America is as American as apple pie. You know what I'm saying? This country was built on racism. It was built on the backs of Black people working for free labor. Then after they got free labor and was set free, they were supposed to give us something to get started with.
40 acres and a mule. 40 acres and a mule.
And they didn't do it.
Spike Lee.
Yes, they were supposed to give us reparation. But what I'm saying is this country was built on hating the Black person. The Black race.
Into this, and we can bring it on in with the hypocrisy of America. Speak on it. The hypocrisy.
And you're right. I know you told me we had to keep it under, so I'm gonna be really quick. And like I said, maybe
you okay.
But this is the thing, that the hypocrisy of America, and I even tell on stage jokes where I might say, and and if it's in a crowd of a black crowd of my peers, they get upset when I say I miss Donald Trump. This is the reason why I say that I miss Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, he shined a light on the hypocrisy of this country. This country was so-called built on Christianity. The far right is supposed to be people that's morally more just than the liberal left. Morally, but they voted for a person like a Donald Trump because they wanted to get the Supreme Court stacked. So they did away with all moral compass that this country was built on and brought Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, which the country was already headed to, after, the
crowd.
Yeah. After how they behaved with the election of president and the presidency of President Obama. If one thing I can remember, when Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton wrote overseas a letter about, that's not something we do. That would be considered treasonous activity. But when y'all allowed them to disrespect President Obama, and then that led to the election of Donald Trump, the country has been over. It's been over. And now you want to talk about the N-word, like that's going to make kumbaya and make everything great if we get Joe Rogan from saying, the hypocrisy of this country is disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And y'all, if we continue to let America cover up our eyes and see that it's only the N-word that is messing us up, y'all, and you use it, so that's not the only thing that's meant. No. The system.
I feel like they're using that word over our head as a distraction from what's the real problem.
Yes.
They're telling you They want to tell you and condition your thinking that that's the problem, but it is not. The N word is not the problem. The N word has been around here since the beginning of time, and there was a point in time where we were closer. Sad to say, the time where we were most close was when we were under, trying to fight for our rights. It is kind of crazy that amongst our people, we seem to quickly always bond over our dysfunction and our struggle. But I think it has to come to a point where we start bonding because of our success. We should start bonding because we're making business goals together. We should start trying to bond with like-minded people and try to build more things together. I shout out to the YouTuber named Tommy Sotomayor. I listened to him and I heard him talk about Black Wall Street, and he was saying, looking at all of these billionaires around here, all of these billionaire celebrities around and through here, why hasn't anyone rebuilt Black Wall Street? Black Wall Street was only stores. Did you know that, Kenyon?
Oh yeah.
Black Wall Street was only stores.
Yes.
So what's stopping us from rebuilding it? I mean,
nothing. Us is stopping us. Us is the reason why. And don't get me wrong, I do understand what happened to us in this country. You know what I'm saying? I do understand it, but it's us that is stopping us from this point where we're at in history now. It's us now. I mean, that's just all there is to it. It's us. We're our biggest. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. And this is coming from being in entertainment. Y'all, do you know Black people, 98% of the time, our functions don't start on time? You know what I'm saying? No. Do you know that it is a way that we govern ourselves that is not as professional as our counterparts that we complain about? And that's the reason why that this word is not us getting some other underlying issues together should be a bigger issue than just getting the white man to stop saying the N-word. Because, like I said, they'll never do that. They're gonna always say that about you. In fact, I have heard them. You know what I'm saying? You can leave out the room if they ain't calling you a fat N, they calling you a stinking N or arrogant N. Mm-hmm. So it's just what N they calling you.
Even an educated N.
Yes, a uppity N. So uppity. Think you? I'm just saying, y'all.
They putting it at the end.
Exactly. That's something that you're not going to be able to get away from. But I'm telling you, y'all, we got to stop being. We got to stop saying that it's Black girl magic or it's us and we woke and actually start being woke. We need to stop saying that we down for each other and actually be down for each other.
Thank you. Stop just saying stuff that sound good and put it into action.
Stop quoting slogans and actually get out there and do it. Y'all, it shouldn't take no whole bunch of billionaires or whoever to get together and build back nothing. Like you said, Black Wall Street was stores. Y'all, we could get together on our own. 9th Street.
Look at all the people that we know that sell hair, that sell clothes, people that got lawn services, people who bake all these cakes that's giving our people diabetes. But you got people that's doing all of this stuff. People out here making t-shirts, jewelry. Come on, we can build our own. And it don't have to be in the same place where it got blew up at. It can be in your community. Imagine all of the people who are business owners, and if they can get a space in a big location and just have their businesses there. Black Wall Street can be in every neighborhood. Every corner can be a Black Wall Street.
Yes.
You guys don't have to go back to that specific place and do it. It starts with us. But I just think that the hatred that we share for each other is what will stop us.
Yes, I agree.
The hatred that we have.
I agree.
The hatred. And that's what's stopping us.
And this the thing also, which we can't help. If you look at where we came in this country, of where we all black people had to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. If most of you don't, we're not quite starting to see second generation black wealth yet. We do have a lot of first generation, like you said, millionaire, billionaire from entertainment and other avenues like industries like that. Athletics, where black people have become very extremely wealthy and has started first generational black wealth. And so I do understand that there's no blueprint there for how we're supposed to govern ourselves with money and how we're supposed to make sure our money cross generational lines. But this is the thing, y'all. What we do know, what we have taken, what we should be able to take from the white man playbook, the systems playbook. We don't know everything, but what we know visually and what we can see, because they're not going to tell us the ins and out of how to become a certain way, because they never did. No. But what we do know, y'all, is we can start being more professional. If you have a business, open your business on time. If you have a business, stand behind your product. Yeah. If you notice, when old man Walton got started with Walmart, he took anything back in the beginning. Yeah. Anything you could see, it didn't even have to come from Walmart, and he took it back, because that's how much he was standing behind his product, y'all. It's a way, it's certain things that we can take from the system, the man, the way that
he was even taking coupons from other stores.
Yes, y'all, it's a way for it is notes that we can take from our oppressor to see how to build a successful business system for ourselves. But what we're going to have to do is stop hating on one another.
Thank you.
Black, since I've been in the comedy game, the biggest hate that I've received from any level of anybody is from black people.
Oh, wow.
The biggest level of hate I've ever received in my entire life is from black people. Which I know it is because, that's who we have closer. But coming into the industry or whatever, I didn't know anyone. You know what I'm saying? And for not really black people in the beginning to take me on, it was, we had to learn from what. Yeah, black folks was my biggest hater. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. Black people, I know we wore them shirts with slogans on them and all that type of stuff, but black people, we're some hating folks. And if you look at throughout history, it's always been a black person run and tell, there you go, master.
Yeah, there he is over there.
Yes.
Oh,
so we gotta stop. We gotta cut that out, y'all.
We gotta cut that out.
But Katie, this has been a terrific conversation.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. You guys, make sure you go over and follow Kenya
Faith and Kenya Thompson. Yes, and Instagram.
Kenya Thompson, hit her up on Instagram. Most definitely. Thank you so much for coming and speaking on this well-needed topic to be talked about. Well, I hope you enjoy your night.
You too. Thank you. I'll see y'all again. Thank you. Have me back another time.
All right. See y'all later. And I am signing out. Katie Talk 101. Peace. I'll probably be back later, you guys. So please make sure you come on back. I'm probably coming back between 10 and 11 to talk about some things. Signing out. Peace.